Once you get to your mid-20s, and especially when you're in your 30s, it starts to feel like everyone expects you to have it all figured out, which is wild, overwhelming. Take it from me. Growing up as a child of Haitian immigrants, the expectation was that I'd go to an Ivy League school and then become a doctor, lawyer, or an engineer. But what happens when, even though you know that that type of traditional path isn't for you, you still can't seem to figure out what path is? And when you have no idea what you're going to do with your life, where do you even start? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So come, spend the day with me as we go on a little New York City adventure and discover how you can start to find some direction when you have no idea what you're going to do with your life, no matter how old you are. Okay, so what if I told you that this life direction that you're looking for will probably be found in revisiting the things you enjoyed most as a child? Let me explain. The thing is, no one ever really teaches us how to know what we'll actually enjoy doing as adults. And if you weren't some sort of child prodigy growing up, you were probably just fed what you should do, like getting good grades and going to college, with the assumption that as you go through these motions, you'll eventually end up choosing from an arbitrary list of societally acceptable professions and continue just going through the motions of life. And so that's what I did. I got good grades and I actually did get into an Ivy League school. But in my freshman year at Columbia, I fell into a deep depression marked with suicidal ideation. That was when I quickly realized that the traditional doctor, lawyer, engineer path just wasn't for me. The problem was I had no idea what I was actually going to do. So needless to say, after college, I was feeling lost AF. And I tried everything, from retail to real estate. That was a joke. Until eventually, I landed in fitness. I thought it made sense because outside of academics, sports were my life. And being a collegiate athlete is the only thing that got me through the struggle that was college. But even though I loved fitness, eventually I realized that working as a personal trainer still didn't feel exactly right. And to be honest, nothing really did, until I stopped trying to figure it out and instead I started to remember. Specifically, I went back to my childhood. It was honestly the last time I could remember feeling really sure about, well, anything, but especially what I truly loved doing. I think it's because as kids, we're a little less shaped and conditioned to the ways of the world, and we're way more in tune with our intuition, which makes it easier to know what we want at any point in time. As a kid, I just remember going with whatever moved me and just being so present in the things I loved doing, whether it was running around the house, riding bikes with the neighborhood kids, or watching Olympic figure skating. All right, so we are on our way to Rockefeller Center to go ice skating. I'm meeting up with a very special person who you'll probably get to know very well over time because her YouTube about to relaunch and she's lit AF and on a very similar journey. So yeah, we're about to meet up with her, but for now we need to find where we're going because I've never been to Rockefeller Center before. And I'm just excited to bring you with me. Okay, let's go. I know that sounds really random because it's not like I ever actually skated as a kid. I was terrified of falling, so I just never took to it. But watching, that was a whole different story. I would beg my dad to stay up past my bedtime to watch Christy Yamaguchi, Nancy Kerrigan, and Michelle Kwan light up the ice. Hence why we're going on this ice skating adventure today. I wanted to bring myself back to that pure enjoyment that I experienced as a child watching the world's best figure skaters as a way to illustrate how going back to childhood passions can provide a reliable blueprint for figuring out what to do with your life. And to be honest, as you know, since I've been documenting this process of going all in on my dreams with no safety net other than my faith in God, I've had my fair share of ups, but there have also been some downs, like with the whole landlord situation. And being that my next court date is coming up soon, I really just needed a moment to breathe and be free from thinking about it. Also, if you're new here and have no idea what I'm talking about, you can watch these two videos here. Okay, I'm sorry, but I actually don't know where I'm going, so let's figure that out first, and then we can get back to our discussion. Okay, so I'm sure I look like a first timer because that was the wrong way to get in. I was on 50th and the way to get in is on 49th. So we're on 49th now. So let's see if we can get in. I'm gonna try to see like what it's looking like in terms of actually getting on the rink, because when I looked online earlier, it was basically sold out. So we're about to check that out. Also, oh my God, the Today Show's right there. Once again, an issue of directions, but I just asked this lady in that little purple booth right there. I asked her how to get there and she said that I have to take an elevator, which makes sense because it's like on a lower level, to get down to the ticketing area. So yeah, we about to go find this elevator. All right, so funny story. Found the elevator. I actually had passed it the first time, so I was in the right place the whole time. Lord, what an adventure. Anyway, I think what I'm gonna do is wait for our special guest here. I don't want her to be confused, so we'll meet here and then we'll go down. But we will skate tonight. So, how exactly do our childhood passions help us to find our way in life as adults? Well, first, indulging in childlike or childhood-informed play can help us to transcend the overwhelming pressure and anxiety-provoking aspects of not knowing what to do or where to start. This way, we can be fully present and start to experience what it's like to actually feel true enjoyment and even alignment within a moment. Because ultimately, that's what we want to experience in whatever it is we do decide to do with our lives. And by being this present and relatively carefree in a childhood memory, you'll start to notice things that will hint at, or sometimes explicitly state, what path or direction will be most aligned for you. So, they're sold out. Homegirl gave me this. She was like, oh yeah, you can check another time. Get your tickets in advance. Don't just show up here. Rookie. Anyway, we about to go to Brickland.
I'll take a plane to me.
Yes. Wait, yes, we are. Let's go to Brickland. We're off. So the adventure continues, but like I said, we're gonna skate tonight. We're skating.
Like, the day's not ending without a skate happening, so.
Period. For me, my love of figure skating was never about becoming an actual figure skater, but really it was the strength, grace, creativity, and fearlessness of these athletes who would effortlessly land perfect triple axels time and time again that mesmerized and inspired me. And so even if I never put on a pair of skates in my life, I know now that whatever I decided to do would likely embody the characteristics that I admired about the sport and the athletes. So now we've been able to identify the defining characteristics of the path that could likely feel most aligned. But let's take it a step further. Even though figure skating itself wasn't my exact calling, despite sports and being active being another thing I really loved as a child, I also really enjoyed art. I mean, to put it simply, I was as much of an artist as I was and still am an athlete. Thinking back, not only was I in advanced art classes all up and through high school, but I also remember even way before that, as a child, I would write and illustrate these little books on the weekends because you already know Haitian parents always had us cooped up in the house. We got the skates on, and I think we're probably gonna skate. And so now, if we look at everything we've been able to remember just from going back to a childhood passion, we see how it starts to create parameters and provide direction as to where to start when it comes to figuring out what we want to do with our lives. And in my case, it's no wonder I dropped fitness as a profession to go all in on my YouTuber and content creator dreams.
There she goes.
So if you've been feeling overwhelmed and discouraged about the fact that you still don't know what to do with your life, I hope that you'll consider revisiting your childhood excitements as a way to help you start uncovering your true and most aligned path. The reality is, as a child, you did know. And I'd argue that right now, you still know. You just need to take some time to remember.
All right, so it was very brave of me to think that I was gonna be skating and getting content, but I'm actually gonna try to practice skate now. So I'll talk to you later.
Anyway, I'm just so glad that you're here and with me on this journey. And I invite you to subscribe and stay a while because I just can't wait for us to both be fully in our purpose, sure of exactly what we're doing with our lives, and arriving at a life of maximum fulfillment together. All right. I love you. See you in the next video. Mission Get on the Ice was a success. I actually did get better. Obviously you didn't see that, but it's okay because we're gonna do a whole ice skating tour throughout the city because there's tons of different rinks and I wanna go to all of them. And I'm bringing you to all of them with me. So yeah, let me know if that's interesting to you. It doesn't matter because you're gonna get it anyway. But yeah, we're gonna see how I improve my skating skills. And yeah, that's it. I think the next step is to order some actual skates so I have my own pair, you know? Like I feel like that's how you know you're really serious because maybe I was supposed to be a figure skater. It's unclear. Anyway, we're gonna go home now and edit this video because you already know we gotta find our people in the next few weeks because yeah, we not going back to the court. We not. Everything about to be handled. So, okay. Bye, I love you.